Hello, welcome to Levant TV Headlines. The United Nations says Islamic State jihadists may have committed genocide in trying to wipe out the Yazidi minority in Iraq. Tunisian Prime Minister Habib Essid has named 2 gunmen behind the attack on a museum in the capital Tunis, which left 19 people dead, as Yassine Abidi and Hatem Khachnaoui. Supporters of Yemeni President Abd-Rabbu Mansour Hadi have seized Aden's international airport after battles with rival forces that left at least 6 people dead. The Kuwaiti prosecutor's office has thrown out a case brought by a member of the ruling family and involving an alleged plot captured on video to overthrow the government. Iran and the United States have wrapped up the latest round of marathon talks in Switzerland to ink a comprehensive nuclear deal before a March 31st deadline. And now let's have a look at top headlines in today's newspapers from the Middle East. Starting from Beirut, the Daily Star leads reporting that Social Affairs Minister Rashid Derbas says Lebanon will request for $2.1 billion in international aid for Syrian refugees to cover expenses for the next 2 years. The paper also reports that students held a sit-in at the Lebanese University in Fanar, north of Beirut, as part of the second day of a strike to demand government protection after recurrent shooting incidents near the campus. The Egypt Independent leads reporting that sources close to former presidential candidate Hamdin Shabahi said he is talking to the leaders of the democratic current to merge them into one political front. The paper also reports that the Customs Department has cancelled the service suspension fees for trucks coming from Saudi Arabia, as they violate the Greater Arab Free Trade Area Agreement. From the United Arab Emirates, the Khalij Times leads reporting that attackers opened fire at a major museum in Tunisia's capital Tunis, gunning down 17 tourists as dozens more sprinted to safety. The paper also reports that the Ministry of Foreign Affairs has summoned the ambassador of Sweden to the UAE, Jan Teslif, to deliver a formal memorandum of protest following abusive remarks made by Foreign Minister of Sweden, Margot Wallström, against Saudi Arabia. Now let's have a look at top headlines from papers here in London. In The Guardian, a report that a British woman was killed in the attack on the Bardo Museum in Tunis, as authorities in the Tunisian capital continue to try account for the dead and injured amid conflicting reports of the number of people and nationalities involved. The Telegraph leads Middle East news section reporting that thousands of Britons visiting Egypt will soon face the hassle of negotiating embassy bureaucracy after authorities in the country announced the withdrawal of visas on arrival for those traveling outside an organized tour. Under new rules to be introduced from May the 15th, individual travelers will have to pre-arrange their entry visa either by visiting the Egyptian consulate in London or by making a postal application. Also from the UK, The Independent reports that President Barack Obama has criticized the divisive rhetoric used by Israeli leader Benjamin Netanyahu in the closing stages of the country's parliamentary election, shortly before he swept to victory ahead of the Zionist Union Party. Mr. Obama, who was reportedly not yet called Mr. Netanyahu to congratulate him following his success, condemned the incendiary remarks, saying that they sought to marginalize Arab Israeli citizens. And now, international papers. From Germany, the Deutsche Welle leads reporting that UN Office of the High Commissioner for Human Rights has released a report based on interviews with more than 100 alleged victims and witnesses, documenting a multitude of crimes committed by ISIS against the Yazidis in Iraq, including killings, torture, rape, sexual slavery, and recruiting child soldiers. The report urged the United Nations Security Council to refer the case against ISIS to the International Criminal Court for prosecution. And finally, in the New York Times, Tunisia's Prime Minister Habib Essid says neither of the 2 gunmen killed in the deadly attack on a museum in Tunis on Wednesday has been linked to any known terrorist group, although one had previously caught the attention of the Tunisian intelligence services. Mr. Essid said that Tunisian authorities were working with other governments to learn more about the background and motives of the 2 gunmen. That's it for today's papers. For more updates, please visit levant.tv. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.